Hey, stick around and I'm going to show you how I made this Godard themed bandsaw box. I checked and verified the joiner was square. I then started the milling process. I joined all the face sides before moving on to the sides. I moved to the planer where I made sure all the lumber was the same thickness. I then went to the table saw and began cutting everything down to a rough size, getting it ready for a glue up. I spent just a minute and cleaned all the surfaces of the wood. I then started the first of several glue ups. I let them sit just like this for about 2 hours. While the body panels dried, I started to cut down some Purple Heart that I'm going to use for the neck. Here I am cleaning the body panels once again. I used a whole bunch of glue and got this thing glued up. I let it sit just like this for a few hours. I then used a layer of tape on what's going to be the face surface of the guitar, and then glued the template to the wood. Ooh, pretty. I then went to work on the bandsaw. To make this cut, or these cuts, I used a 3/16 inch scroll saw blade. It worked really well. In this moment, a jam session just felt appropriate. I did a rough sand on the body. At this point was just to get all the excess glue squeeze out off. I then used some hand tools, files, and a chisel to get all the little nooks and crannies. Alright, so here we are back out here, day 2. Today I'm going to get the back cut off and then work on cutting out the shelves or the drawers. I don't know what they're called, but got a lot of sanding to do. It's pretty roughly sanded, but we're going to get started making some cuts on the bandsaw and see what happens. Never made one of these before, so yeah, here I am, cutting the back off. I then cut the boxes out of the inside of the guitar. Since I've never done one of these, I was actually quite nervous about that. I did make some mistakes. Had to kind of reshape the box in the middle of the cut just because the guitar was too big, but it's okay. It's my first one. I learned, if I do it again, I'll make it better, but we're gonna get to cutting the fronts and backs off of these and then carve out the box. So, more bandsaw work. Removing the template was easy. I'm glad I used tape instead of sticking it to the wood. That there is what I decided my box was going to look like. It didn't take too long to get the boxes carved out. Alright, so this is what I was left with. I'm pretty happy with them. I think it's going to work out great when it's all completed, but off camera, I'm not going to film it. I'm going to sand all these down and get everything prepared for glue up. And here I am, gluing up the boxes I just got done cutting apart. I let these two sit like this for about an hour. I also glued the guitar back together. I'm going to take about an hour and get my shop cleaned up. It's a mess in here. There's big old wood chunks everywhere back here from cutting that guitar out. But yeah, get cleaned up and go from there. I sanded the inside surface of the back of the guitar. So I'm just going to use a little bead of glue around the outside. And I'll probably shoot some brad nails in, but here we go again. In addition to the glue, I shot about 6 brad nails through the back. I then started the finish sanding process. I took everything up to 220 grit. Alright, I just finished up the guitar body. It's all sanded. Right now I'm going to work on the boxes, and then I'm going to start figuring out what I'm going to do for handles. And I need to do some finish, probably a wipe-on poly, but we're not there yet. We're going to get these sanded down. I then went to the router where I put a small round over on all the exterior surfaces of the guitar. I cut and profiled the drawer pulls, or the box pulls, out of Purple Heart. They look pretty good. I then used glue and clamps and got them stuck on there. I then used mineral spirits and cleaned up the guitar. Quite a learning process, my first bandsaw box. So I wanted wipe-on poly for the finish. I don't have any, and I don't want to go to the store. And I have some lacquer, so we're going to spray on some lacquer. Alright, it started to rain on my parade, so I brought it inside. This is all dry. Brown paper bag here. I'm going to go over it all with a brown paper bag. I'm going to put some wax on the drawers, on the box, and we'll slide it in, and this baby's done. I just have a little